Hey guys, welcome back to the I Am Her podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the series of my drama-filled toxic past life. I'm turning the tables just a little bit and taking you guys through my growth journey and interviewing some people that I now surround myself with. I have a very, very special guest with me today. His name is Terrence Webb. This guy is like a big brother to me. He keeps me sane. He's been there through everything. I can call him on anything for any advice or, just to talk to somebody to calm my nerves. But enough of me. Webb, introduce yourself to everyone. Tell them a little bit about you.
Hi, my name is Terrence Webb. Basically, I'm a hardworking guy. And as Ashley said, that's my sister, and I love her to death. We go through our ups and downs, but all in all, we always there for each other because we're going to stick together just like family. Most of all, I'm like a hardworking guy. I work 2 jobs. I've been known to work 2 jobs ever since I was young. 16 years old all the way up to now to being 47. It's a wonderful thing, and I enjoy what I do. I'm blessed. God has taken me through ups and downs, but at the end of the day, He always been up there for my ups, and He always give me everything I ask for, and I'm right at the stage of the best life I'm living now.
All right. So I have him here with me today because I'm going to speak about single fathers, or just like fathers that are actively in their child's life, because I feel like most of you all do not get enough credit. Not saying that every last one of them should get credit, but most of them that really sit down and do what they have to do. This series is for y'all. We're going to give y'all all the credit that you guys deserve. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, guys, so today I brought him here because I want to speak along the topic of father versus dad. There's a phrase that goes, anyone can be a father, but it takes a real man to be a dad. Webb, how do you feel about that?
Well, normally the way I feel about it, it's a true statement because being characterized as a father, and most men think that's a powerful word, but if you actually look it up and think about it, father is really a donator. And that's just like a person that comes in, did what he had to do, he's out of there. And, who wants to be in that category as a father? But dad, if you think about it, your kids, first thing come out their mouth, dad, hey dad. Dad. So if they call you a father, man, you should wonder about that. Because dad is a man that actually gets up, like it says and when we Google it up, it says a father is a donator, but a dad is a person that gets up every day, provides. That's a person provide. Provide is a strong word. Provide carries itself to be a strong word. Because when you provide, that means you're doing actually what you're doing to be a great dad.
All right. T-Webb, you have a beautiful daughter named Jasmine. How old is your daughter, and what are some crazy things you encountered while raising her?
Wow. Right now she's 21. And, when I first seen her being born, it's amazing. It's very amazing. Just to sit there and watch a child actually being born, your child, something that I don't care whether you being loved by anybody else, the mother, friends, parents, or whatever. You have a child that will love you forever to the day you die. Man, that's the beautiful thing in the world.
Has she reached the rebellious stage yet that I'm grown, Daddy? You can't tell me what to do?
Nope.
That's how I was when I was 21 now. I was grown. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had to go. Like, if I wanted to get up, I had to go. I was gone. I was out of there.
But the thing is, she get like that. But she's very respectful. And I can give her mom credit to that because our first 5 years of her, it was us and her mom. We got married. Thing was wonderful, but people have their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it's not the child's fault.
Sure isn't.
The parents got to understand. And as a dad, you got to understand. I don't care whether you with the mom or not, she didn't make that child by herself. You still got a responsibility. Mm-hmm. So we got a divorce. We went through we didn't go through the process of saying that through our divorce, the legal process and stuff. We acted like grown-ups and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. It worked out real good. Even though I was in a relationship, she was in a relationship, it worked out real good. I saw my daughter every day. I got her every day. But, man, when I tell you, the days I can remember when she was little, man, she used to do this thing. I can knock on the door, and her mom used to tell me, peep in the door and watch her. It's like a knock. She know it's me at the door. She'll be bouncing on the couch. Man, it was so funny. I was like, really? She said, yeah, go outside and knock on the door the way you knock when you coming home. And just knock because she know it's you. And I was like, really? And that's before we moved together. And I knocked on the door and the door was cracked. And I actually peeped before I knocked my certain way and she looked. Man, she started jumping up and I was like, oh my God, man. I'm telling y'all, man, when a kid gets so close to his dad, wow, you just don't know what affection you take in your child when they know you are there as a dad, not a father, but as a dad.
Oh yeah, because kids, they get real ecstatic, full of energy. Like you'll sit up there and you'll be like, now you were just asleep, but once they see somebody that they're really close to, whether it's dad, mom, grandma, auntie, sister, brother, they screaming and running everywhere.
Yep. And man, when it come down to girls, dad, you really got to step up because you got to think about it. You do not want your daughter accepting anything. Your daughter portrays on how you treat her and her mom. You ain't got to be with her mom, but you got to treat her mom exactly as you are with her. Mm-hmm. Don't disrespect her in front of her. If you got a cuss, if y'all mad, don't do none of this stuff in front of her. Because she's looking at you doing these things. And she thinking that, hey, that's the type of guy I got to have. No, then you mad because she chose that type of guy.
Right. So, how do you feel? Well, let me ask this a different way. Where do you feel most men fail when it comes to co-parenting?
That problem right now exists as if some parents might want to get back together, then they might not want to get back together. Mm-hmm. But if you don't get back together, at the end of the day, I still tell you, that child does not have nothing to do with your relationship with mom and dad. You still have a relationship with your child.
That's right.
You proceed on, treat your child the same way as if you and the parent are still together. Because like I was saying before, you do not want your daughter or son, moms too, to end up with somebody that's going to have you saying to yourself, oh man, I made a big mistake. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be thinking that because you don't want your child living the lifestyle that you're going through. You want them to be better than you. And the way they're going to be better than you, you got to be better for yourself.
Right.
And once you're better for yourself, that's when you'll be better parents.
I have become real big on this lead by example instead of that do as I say, not as I do. But you have to be the change that you want to see, and not even just your kids, but the people around you. Like you have to be that change. You can fuss and bicker all day about, hey, you need to change this, you need to change that, but have you changed that within yourself?
Right.
If you change it within yourself, it will reflect
back on the child.
Right, back on the child or whoever.
That's why I say your child watch everything you
Mm-hmm.
do. Everything. When I say everything, they know when you get up going to the bathroom.
Okay.
They'll even holler like, Mama, you in the bathroom? Daddy, you in the bathroom?
And they got to sit in there with you and talk.
And they not even nowhere near you. They just know it.
Bringing the little iPads or the little books and stuff and just sit right there
knocking on the door. Do. When you coming out?
Right, you're thinking this is supposed to be your quiet time. Like, why are you here? What do you want?
Right.
Yeah, so.
But it's a wonderful thing.
Okay.
It's wonderful. Raising a child is wonderful. You always look at your mom and dad and say, man, y'all ain't got to do that. Y'all ain't did that. But when you get your own, you'll know exactly what they was talking about.
Right.
Exactly. You'll know how to balance your bills. Mm-hmm. You'll know how to, when they need this, when they need that. And you'll know how to discipline. Mm-hmm. Because you always nodding at your parents, but then when you get children of your own, you realize exactly how the struggle is. Right. And exactly what they're talking about. And that's when you reflect on back, they are raising me. Mm-hmm. They're raising me exactly how they want me to be.
Mm-hmm. So, the next question is basically, how did you become the dad that you are today, and how was life with your father in your life?
The way I became the dad that I am is my dad. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I love my dad true enough. I have nothing against him. I have no regrets against him. But he was not my dad. He was my father. Mm-hmm. You know, he took on to take care of other kids before he took care of me. My mama is my dad and my mother. She struggled to get me where I am today. She's the real reason why I'm at today. Because when you see your mom struggling and knowing that you have a father, because that's what he's going to be when he's not taking care of you. Mm-hmm. And he know he can, but he's not stepping to the plate. You know you can step to the plate, but you got to man up and see in your heart and say to yourself, that's my child. Nothing going to stop me from, nobody going to stop me from taking care of my child. That's my child.
Right.
I need to be a dad to my child, no matter what relationship you in. If you're in a relationship with another person, they got to understand and respect that you have another child, just like you got to understand and respect they got children by other parents. You got to have that respect. If you don't have the respect, nobody's winning. You're not winning, the child is not winning, and you're not winning your relationship either. Mm-hmm. So you're actually losing. And once that child grow up, don't get mad because that child neglect you. You neglected that child first. And trust me, that's one thing you don't want to do, is look in your child's face and see the hurt in their eyes for how you doing, how you did them throughout the years.
Right. Like, I completely understand that. I had me and my dad, we're in a really good place right now. You know, we talk to each other every now and then. He checks on me, I check on him. You know, I haven't seen him in a few weeks due to this whole pandemic. I wish you would go ahead and end because I miss seeing people. Like, people were getting on my nerve before then, but this time right here makes you realize you can't take these people for granted. Because I miss seeing every last one of them now. I miss them fussing. I miss all of it. Like,
but at the end of the day, you still reflect on your childhood.
I miss it all, you know?
Yeah.
Like, my dad, he wasn't the worst dad, but no, he wasn't there a lot. And, you know, he talked to me. He called me. He was like, you know, I can't sit up here and say I've been the best dad to you and your sister. And, you know, I have a brother that's the same age as me. He was just like, I can't say that I've been the best that I could to y'all, but look at y'all now. Y'all have grown to be very, very strong individuals. And, you know, all three of us, we've taken a different path, of course. And as everyone knows, mine didn't go so well. But I'm getting back on track. I'm aligning everything. The universe is with me. And everything is pretty much going my way now. Right. Since I got out of my own way and I let everything else just die. Like, all the bad stuff, it had to die in me. Like, just let it go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to forgive and forget.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's how you can move on with your life.
Right.
Because God don't want you to hold no grudges. You know, because he already took care of that. Mm-hmm. He really took care of it because he know your heart. And once he seek your heart and desires, it's up to you to understand that, okay, God, I have faith in you. I know you're going to take care of me. Mm-hmm. And he's going to wrap everything together for you because it's all in your heart. He's looking at everything that you want. everything that you see, how you want it to be. But you got to get out of your negative ways and stop letting your mind take course. If you feel it through your heart, it will make your mind flow just wonderful.
Right.
That's when you start doing the right things in life. And then God will start focusing on making your life even better. And once he starts focusing your life on even better, have no regrets of what's been done in the past. Because that's the main word it says, past. And that's where you need to leave it at, in the past. Because he's guiding your future. And if you can see that everything is getting better, the light is bright.
Okay.
Just keep walking.
So, we're fixing to get on to a touchy subject that a lot of men get really, really, really intense about. They get angry. They hate it. Like, how do you feel, being the dad that you are, paying child support?
Wow. This would come to a shock to y'all. The thing about me, when I paid child support, when me and her mom separated, we got a divorce. And the lawyer pulled me in. Back then, I think I was making I wasn't even making hardly almost $5 an hour. I think minimum wage was like $4.75. But when we separated, she asked me about child support. I said, okay, what is it? She was like, well, in order for me to keep all her Medicaid and all this and that, I had to put you on child support. I said, okay, let's do this. She was like, well, you know they're taking out your check. But the thing I was thinking about is she has my child. I'm not worried about no check. This woman got my child. I don't care what we went through. This woman got my child. So when we went in before the lawyer and got our divorce, he pulled me to the side. He said, you know you're going to pay child support. He asked me how much I make. So I told him $4.75 an hour. And he was like, wow, you probably won't be getting too much child support unless you pay the max. So I was like, oh, the max? I said, well, let's do the max. He ran back. It kind of took him surprised because, I mean, he startled for a minute, but at the end of the day, I've been paying the max ever since then. Because once you tell me something like, you know, when your job changes and the more money you make, it goes up. So I was like, well, just max it out. So you don't have to worry about it going up. Once you max it out, that means it stays where it's at and it adds a percentage. And the percentage still goes towards the child. Right. Which is a good thing. But a lot of people don't like to do the max because they think the max hurt them. The max is the best thing you can pick. I don't care if you is making less. Your child need that money because she's staying under that roof. And that mom, we might get mad and understand like, oh, she keeping that money for herself. But man, don't think like that. Because your child is still under that roof. What is she using that money for herself or for anything else? That money's still going to that rooftop. Right. And that's just like you being a dad. You providing for that rooftop. For your child to have something to live upon. And go and call home. What if she paying child support, she in the streets? How you feel then? You know, that's a different story. You never question the mom about that money, period. Because at the end of the day, it's still taking care of your child while she's under that roof. I don't care if she's staying in a shack. She's still taking care of your child on the roof. Your child got a roof on her head. And once we maxed it out, and the funny thing about it is, the lawyer pulled me to the side and said, wow. The mom was gone. He was like, wow, man, you the first person I had so far to come in here and I have a problem paying child support. And then you did the max. You don't make enough to pay the max. Do you know how bad this going to hurt your check? I just grabbed him and told him, man, that's my child. I don't care if I ain't got no shoes on my feet. I'm good. Okay. I'll make a way.
Because being honest, from a woman's perspective, that child support, it is the max ain't too much or nothing anyway, no matter what you make or where you work.
Bingo.
Because bills and then what the child needs and food to feed them. Because kids are growing. These kids can eat.
And every year things get higher.
They can eat. Do you hear me?
That little money that going up under that house is still nothing compared to what you need to do outside the house.
Right.
So you still need to take the parenting part and be like, hey, do my child need anything? But if you're a real dad, you ain't got to ask your child, does she need anything?
Right.
Those things prosper every time you see her.
Even with
him or her.
Even with good health insurance, them folks still find a way to bill you for something. Say your insurance didn't cover this much, so here you go. Like they're gonna find a way.
And then to take less pressure off the mom, when you get that child, spend that time with that child. Cut all your option off for that weekend or whatever you got going. That's your child moment. Spend that time with that child. And see, when we had that proposition, my child came over every weekend. Every weekend. If I didn't go get her, my mom went and got her. If I was at work, my mom go get her, or my friend girl went and got her. It was never a problem. And I mean, when she came over there, my friend girl and I do hair. She did her hair to make sure her hair was done for the following week at school. The mom had it good. All she had to do was drop my child off. I did the rest. We'll go take her shopping. We'll do anything she needed. We'll send some of her clothes back, but we'll also keep some too, just in case she come back over. But we start building it up and making it like she had a room of her own where she had everything. Clothes, shoes, the match, all that. And plus she had stuff that I sent home with her. But the thing about it, things still went south.
Yeah. Things happen. Like you said, we all go through things.
Right, things went south.
We all go through things.
To me, the mom said wasn't enough.
It
I
can't
want
be
all of it at the house.
It can't be all peaches and cream everywhere.
Right.
So to kind of get to wrapping things up, tell us about some of your favorite parts about being a dad. Like, what are some things that you and Jasmine like to do, especially now since she's older in the grown woman stage?
Man, I missed quite a few years of her life because I'm not gonna fault her or her mom. I always fault myself. That's the same thing where it get back to saying that if you're a dad, you're gonna do anything possible to make things right. But I never missed birthdays. I never missed anything else. I always provided for her wherever she needed. Yeah, if she said she needed, I would go get it. But we just didn't spend much time because I let my jobs take control of me more than me being a dad. I turned into a father. But now, as she then got to a point where she being older, I haven't missed too much of her lifestyle. I'm still her dad. Because I was her father, she would say that, but she still called me dad. And we have so much fun together, man. It's just, she come to me about her sex life or her dating, her first crush, her first, man, it's funny.
She's brave. She didn't get her head knocked off.
Me being as a dad, I was like, what? You telling me this? And I'm like, whoa, daddy, I had sex. What? Like, huh? And you like saying to yourself, like, it startled me. I'm like, that's how much you being a dad. When your child can come and tell you the most secretive things that they keep from you, you being your dad. And for her to come and tell me stuff like that, I feel proud. Because I don't be hard on them because I know she got to grow because I've been through things like that. And so what I do is I step into her shoes and say, what would I do if I was in her shoes? How would I feel? Or the reaction I would take. So then I listen instead of just jumping out, I'm going to whoop your ass. I sat back and listen. She be hurt behind things she said. You can feel the pain in her. So instead of me being hard on her and putting more pain on her and making her feel that I'm not there for her, I listen. And once I listen and figure out what hurting her and what she's going through, I can pinpoint everything out and tell her what she's doing wrong. And it won't be an argument. It'll be like she will stop and settle down and listen to you. And she will take your advice, and that's how you know you're parenting. Because once you take your advice and you look at her again or look at him, no matter him or her, you can see it reflecting on them. And they're building their character to be more better. Not to be worse, they're building to be better. Because I always figure that, I read in this article, if yelling at your kids or arguing at your kids, it's like you're taking a toll on them in life. It's like you're damaging them. You want to be that parenting, but still you got to listen too. So you got to burn down. It may be hard because of the way things comes out, but listen. We all got to listen. Mm-hmm. Because that's the same thing you wanted your parents to do for you when you was growing up, was listen. So why wouldn't you do the same thing for your child?
Right. Well, I want to thank you, Webb, for letting me interview you on this subject. I know a lot of men will be proud that you stood up for them on here. And I'm pretty sure a lot of women could probably get a little bit of insight on here to see what goes through a man's mind dealing with some of these questions and how they have to go through life and figure out how they are going to provide for the ones that really actually get out there and try.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing, too. I like to express to all guys, man, stop being hard on that mom. Some moms, you can probably see it, but if you see a mom that is out there doing, man, you need to be a provider just like her. You need to have her back too, just like you want the child to have your back. So because the child see you got her back while she's out there struggling, making a way for your child, that child gonna respect you more, and that mom gonna respect you more. Mm-hmm. Because you see she's struggling to do the best she can, but she needs your support too. So support her. You making her life a whole lot easier with your child. Because she's there every day. You're not, if y'all not together. Mm-hmm. She's there through the sickness, the crying, the sadness, the things that goes on at school, her working, her coming home, washing clothes, ironing, helping her with homework, the whole 9 yards. Because guys, guess what? You done stepped off and made it so worse that you became a father instead of a dad. Be a dad. Best thing in life. It's a dad.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. That was a message from Terrence Webb. Be a dad, not a father. So, in conclusion, I would like to thank you all for listening and taking the time to share my podcast and just taking the time to just listen and see where I'm coming from and checking out my growth. You could also catch up on other shows or keep up with events, or if you would like to be on one of my episodes, you can email me at audaciouslym@gmail.com. And if you would like to go back and watch some of listen to some of my episodes, especially my older ones about my past, to kind of build up and see where I am now. You could find the links to those on Anchor, Spotify, and I also tag them on my social media pages at audaciously_m_. That's on Facebook and Instagram. And my graphic design photo, it was done by Amber Perry. You can also find her on Instagram at Amber Perry Photos. She is really, really good at what she does. Once again, thank you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.